Okay, that title cannot be right. Kids should never fear summer break. Unless for some reason you're given summer homework and forget to do it. This is again a case where I need to remind everyone that the series works under, well, a sliding timescale, as everything from the beginning of the anime to its end at Beast Plus is supposed to occur over the course of 2 to 3 years. Especially since this is once more again filler padding out progression of the Nebula arc. And really, it's been quite some time since we've seen Nebula involved beyond sending out minions to harass other antagonists. Kinda bleeds out how we were previously on a much stricter arc. But yeah, as Netto's been so busy fighting Nebula and the Darkloids, well, summer's just vanished. So he's trying to get as much as he can in, encouraged by the messages Dekao and Yaito have sent showcasing their own achievements. And what does Netto have to show for his time? Just the world keeping on turning. Yeah, like that's worth anything. Actually, him trying to catch beetles, again a Battle Network 4 reference, is meant to be part of an extra credit project Mariko assigned him that he actually wants to do. Again, please see my tangent on educators needing to keep students engaged if they want them to learn. But in comparison to what Dekao and Yaito are up to, it is small potatoes. That's why Mayl actually suggests an alternative. Something they can do together. Elsewhere though, Coldman and Swordman, down to do swords if you'll remember, come across a building set out separate in a cyberspace desert, desiring to awaken from within it the AI sleeping inside. Oh hey, Mistman. Yeah, the two are after him, as a solo Navi joining the Darkloids would help replenish their very depleted ranks. But Mistman wants nothing to do with it, for despite being a solo Navi, he's fervently faithful to the wishes of his original operator. Appropriate considering he's based on a genie, or a djinn, whichever. Both Darkloids try attacking him to get him to join. Yeah, that's a terrible recruitment tactic. Only for Mistman to curb stomp both of them, though consequently this giving a hint that if they want to talk for real, they have to find where his data is stored in the real world. So, does anyone know a good lamp reviewer? Meanwhile, as a visual sight gag, Netto's failures at bug hunting somehow take him and Mayl around the world, through the Upside Down, and into the space between spaces unknown. Why do I get the feeling that this is going to end with him catching a xenomorph that calls herself Pinky? This is how I know that this is meant to not be taken that seriously though, as these are clearly just part of a big sight gag exaggerating the lengths Netto's trying to go to for this project, with only really his stubbornness preventing them from doing anything better. And, wait, where the hell are they now? Is Netto Hikari somehow related to the Hibiki clan? How did this even escalate that far? Though, as a reminder, Japan does have deserts on its landmass, so this could still be in Japan. It's unlikely it's Japan, but it is possible. A sandstorm, however, abruptly starts, forcing them to look for cover, in a building that looks just like the one from the cyberworld that Mistman was guarding. While they get inside, the door seals shut behind them, Mayl panicking, until they see a giant diamond pushed by a gold bug, which leads them deeper into the palace. Yeah, you can guess the way this is going to go. Netto logically applies Occam's razor to this, figuring the place must have some robotic sentries disguised among the statues, meaning there must be something to guard inside, making Mayl curious to what's here against her normal character. And they're not the only ones being screwed with. Yuriko's also made her own way here, and falls into the same traps. Though this amuses me, as this is the second time in a row where she's been part of things, and made to fall into the pratfalls of a normal character instead of being the complete mysterious badass. I'm not surprised to see it, though. This one comes to us thanks to Katsuhiko Chiba, who pretty much did the same thing to Aisha on Outlaw Star. It doesn't make the character less competent, just flailing like anyone would when shoved harshly outside of their expected comfort zone. A supernatural comedy horror plot like this? That works for throwing off an expected dynamic. What they come to realize, though, is this place really is technologically wired, meaning this is either someplace part of a super ancient civilization, or this place has been retrofit into modernness. Rock and Roll logging in gets them confronted by Mistman, who thinks they're Dark Lloyd backup, but is polite enough to request they leave first. But unfortunately, Mistman's not exactly up to just giving the instructions to leave. Thus, they end up needing to make use of the same goal Yuriko's after. Find Mistman's magic lamp to gain his assistance. I mean, this is an example where they could all just give up the case as a lost cause, and Yuriko could give her mortal enemy, for the moment, a lift back to civilization. No need to escalate things when they're having an off day, after all. Wait a few weeks. I think you'll want to reconsider that. Ultimately, they reach the treasure room, but don't know which thing will lead them to contracting with Mistman, until the point Yuriko just says screw it and fires down a set of dimensional converters. At the same time, Mayl reaches the lamp. And thus, by grabbing his vessel, Mistman agrees to help them fight off the Dark Lloyd assault. Unfortunately, whoever holds the lamp is the master. Thus, because Yuriko can take advantage of children's one weakness, that being short arms, she snags it from her, resulting in the back and forth you'd expect in such chaos. The worst part of this, though, is, while this entire exchange actually is funny, it is undermined by a lot of what was animated for this being used in a full loop. Seriously, the same bits in the whole fight are used like 3 or 4 times, and it gets old fast. Ultimately, Mayl ends up getting Yuriko to fall into another floor trap, giving her exclusive control over the lamp, and from it, the Genie Navi and cross-fused Navi delete both enemy Dark Lloyds. However, their feud has actually lifted his curse to subservience to his former master, allowing Mistman to go and live freely for the rest of his days. In his gratitude, guiding the kids home, and back to bug hunting. As for Miss Yuriko... Nope! I am noping right out of this one. The wrap-up. We have Playing Against Type for responsible student Netto Hikari. We have Designated Screamer to Rockman, Mayl, and Yuriko on this one. We have Genie Problems to Mistman and the Servitude part of that power set. And we have Unexpected Cameo by Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees of all characters. Yeah, the show riffed on popular movies in 2004 earlier in the season, but what is the actual hell on this one? Not much else to say. This is another harmless comedy plot padding out getting to the real end of the series, with the only real status quo shift being Coldman and Swordman being taken out of the picture. With retrospective look at all these episodes, it more seems like the ones that were cut from broadcast were all filler or had reasonable justifications for why they were skipped over. And this one wasn't, despite it also not doing anything to advance much, simply due to their deletions. The only Dark Lloyds that didn't have their deletions be seen by the US audience were Burner Man, because US broadcasters skipped that one, and Sparkman because airing the train-jacking plot would have been in poor taste with close proximity to a actual train crash. And that again shows, despite the season's heavily delayed airing, that more care was actually taken in regards to Axess's import and broadcast. A pity then that after the mess the first season is considered to be in the West, that there weren't many takers towards continuance on. Despite that though, we still have one more filler episode to go before the endgame of the season can properly start. And it's also the last one that got skipped in broadcast. See you there.